Now, another thing I just want to briefly mention before I carry on. I've noticed that communists, they always like to use big and often complicated words, right? And I think this is on purpose. They want to use like big and complicated words when they like describe everything that they, or when they write documents. They like making use of complicated language, so that the average Joe, the average person, has to won't understand what exactly what they're talking about. And that's something that you have to really watch out for. Like I myself, like I'm not like some super clever guy when it comes to like language and so on. So like when so I encourage you as well. Whenever you read anything that communists produce, look very careful at the language. If there's a word that you don't know, go and look up the meaning, right? Because sometimes you could feel like oh geez, like I don't know what this word means. I'm just going to pretend that I know. Don't do that. Go and look up exactly what those words mean, so that you can understand exactly what these people are talking about. All right, Article 12. The magistrates of each class watch over the stock of the storehouses of the national community, the fruits of the earth, and the products of the arts capable of conservation. All right, so basically they'll have certain people in charge of the storehouses. Nothing too interesting there. All right, Article 13. The accounting of these objects is regularly communicated to the Supreme Administration. Okay, so basically the Supreme Administration needs to be regularly informed of, how much they have of what. Right, again, not too interesting. Article 14. The magistrates attached to the agricultural class have guard over the propagation and improvement of animals that can be used as food, clothing, transport, and for the lightening of human labor. All right, again, it's just basically telling us that the magistrates, what their job description is, basically. Okay, all right, so that concludes it for common labor. Now we're going to move on to another section that deals with the distribution and use of common goods. All right, so we're starting off again with Article 1. All right, so it states, members of the national community can only enjoy the use of that the which law gives him according to the magistrate's distribution of property. Holy cow, the way some of this stuff is written. Anyway, all right, so basically, as a member of this national community, you can only take which the law tells you to take, right? If they say you can only eat rice, then you can only eat rice, right? Or whatever else, right? You're not allowed to take something or eat something that the law hasn't declared as being to be used by public members. All right, Article 2. From this time forward, the national community assures each of its members a healthy, comfortable, and properly furnished lodging, work and leisure clothes of linen or wool, in conformity with the national costume, laundry, lighting, and heat, a sufficient quantity of foodstuffs in the form of bread, meat, fowl, fish, eggs, butter or oil, wine, and other drinks commonly used in the various regions, vegetables, fruits, seasonings, and other objects with the gathering together of constitutes mediocre and frugal ease, the assistance of the healing arts. All right, so they basically tell you that you can enjoy all these things. But the interesting thing, so the clothes that you can wear must be in conformity with the national costume. All right, so I'm not exactly sure what national costume means. So basically, if I understand this correctly, there's like a national dress code. So everybody has to look the same, right? So if the national dress code is basically everybody wears a specific color, let's just say black or brown, right? Then yeah, that's it. You can only wear a specific set of clothes because, as I mentioned earlier, if one person dresses more nicely than someone else, then there is an equality there. That other person who doesn't look as nice, might feel bad. Okay, so everybody has to dress the same. Yeah, and then they just, like I mentioned, they just carry on with things that you are allowed to consume, and the things that you may have. Now, it's interesting that they mention all these nice things, right? But if for whatever reason these things are not available, right, then you can't eat it, right? If there's maybe a shortage of fish or eggs, then sorry, they're just gonna simply go ahead and forbid you from consuming these products, because again, equality. If one person can't eat it, then the rest of you can't eat it as well, right? Or maybe like if there's a problem with heating, right? Sorry, then everybody else has to freeze their asses off. All right, carrying on to Article 3. In each commune there will be, at predetermined times, meals in common which all members must attend. Well, doesn't that just sound dandy? Doesn't it sound wonderful, right? You can no longer eat whenever you want, right? If they say breakfast is at 7, lunch at 12, and I don't know, dinner at 6, whatever. Just random times I just picked, right? But the point is, they get to choose when you will eat, and you must attend it, right? So you can no longer say like, you know what, I feel a bit peckish, I'm gonna go eat now. That's the level of dictatorship with which they control your lives. They choose where you will live and when you will eat, and they get to choose what job you will do, right? The list goes on and on. Now, if that sounds like a wonderful life to you, please go ahead and go join a communist community, right? If that sounds like true freedom to you, then by all means go ahead, but I'll have none of that. All right, Article 4. The pay rate of public functionaries and the military will be the same as that of the members of the national community. Okay, the pay rate. All right, so I'm a little bit confused. I don't know why they would need. I don't know what does pay rate mean. Does that mean like money? If so, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, since they want to abolish money. So yeah, I think, or maybe it means that the amount of goods that will be given to you as a reward for your labor will be the same regardless of your position or type of job that you have. So an army general must have the same amount of goods and consume exactly the same food as everybody else. All right, Article 5. Any member of the national community who receives a salary or keeps money is punished. Okay, all right. So basically, money is outlawed. You're not allowed to receive payments in money form. Okay, you'll be punished. So they don't specifically say how you will be punished, but considering communism's track record, I presume it's not going to be a very fun type of punishment. Article 6. Members of the national community can only receive the common ration in the district in which they reside, except for transfers authorized by the administration. Okay, so you can only eat in the community where they say you should eat, right? So if you are in the pumpkin farming commune, you can only eat there, right? So you can't go visit your friends across town and go have dinner together in their commune, right? So that's forbidden. So again, they dictate when you will eat, and they even dictate where you will eat, right? So if no longer you will be able to go visit your friends and have like a nice party. That is now forbidden. Article 8. In each community, there are magistrates charged with the distribution to the homes of members of the national community of the products of agriculture and the arts. Okay, so some products you're allowed to take home, apparently. All right, Article 9. The law determines the rules of this distribution. Okay, so again, a certain enlightened few gets to decide how much will be given to people and what exactly will be given. Okay, let's move on to another section titled On the Administration of the National Community. All right, Article 1. The national community is under the legal direction of the supreme administration of the state. Okay, so here we go again. The national community, right, everybody else, they are under the legal direction of the supreme administration of the state. Right, so again, this thing where they promised that the people get to decide over themselves, complete about their bullshit. They admitted here once again that the supreme administration, right, the people, the glorious people at the top, they get to decide which direction the society goes. Article 2, as regards administration. Oh, jeez, that's writing. The republic is divided into regions. Okay. Right, all right, so there'll be regions. All right, nothing too interesting there. Article 3. A region consists of all contiguous departments of which the products are more or less the same. Okay, so they're going to try their best to, in each region, to make sure that everything should be more or less the same. Article 4. In each region, there is an intermediate administration to which departmental administrations are subordinate. Nothing interesting there. Article 5. Telegraph lines speed up the correspondence between departmental and intermediate administrations, and between these and the supreme administration. Okay, so apparently I'm not quite sure about this. I'm no expert on the subject, but telegraph lines, apparently back in the day they had a very primitive form of telegraph. Right, I'm not sure, maybe you guys can let me know in the comments exactly what is meant with that.